Bringing you guys the Minnesota Vikings video for the 2012 offseason. Who do I have them signing possibly as free agents, and who do I have them drafting with their number 3 pick in the first round? So in the 2012 offseason for the Minnesota Vikings, I believe they need to establish 1 point and 1 point only, build around Christian Ponder. The problem why I believe they are drafting number 3 overall in this offseason is due to lack of leadership. They brought in Donovan McNabb last season to be their starting quarterback. That did not pan out. They put in Christian Ponder, and the team was probably, like, who's going to be our quarterback for this season? They weren't sure. They didn't get off to a good tempo. Plus, they gave up a lot of fourth quarter leads or second half leads that led to losses. That degrades a team's confidence over time, over a span of one season. They need to start fresh with this 2012-2013 season, build around Ponder, give him some wide receivers, because all they really have at wide receiver is Percy Harvin, a little bit of Mike Jenkins that they brought in from Atlanta as a free agent. But what I believe they need to do in this offseason and free agency is do the same thing they did last season, bring in a wide receiver. I believe that they could bring in somebody exciting like DeSean Jackson, somebody with a little bit of experience like Reggie Wayne. There's also a couple other guys that they can possibly take a look at to bring in and give a weapon to Christian Ponder to play with. Free agents that the Vikings have on their team, Visanthe Shiancoe, who is 31 years of age, and E.J. Henderson, who is also 31 years of age. E.J. Henderson, I believe, is the bright spot out of the two, even though I think Visanthe Shiancoe still has some potential. E.J. Henderson is, like I mentioned, 31 years old. He's put up some decent career numbers with the Minnesota Vikings. I believe they should re-sign him. As for Visanthe Shiancoe, they signed Kyle Rudolph last year in the second round at tight end in the draft. Now, I don't know if they should bring him back. It's questionable. But they also do have Kleinsasser at tight end, who is also a free agent. So they might have a hole or two at tight end. If they want to address that in the draft, it's up in the air. So as for the draft, their draft needs definitely offensive tackle, cornerback, wide receiver, and safety. Those are 4 needs I believe the Minnesota Vikings have and that they need to address right away. They're lucky that they're drafting at number 3 because Morris Claiborne, the cornerback out of LSU, and Matt Khalil, the offensive tackle out of USC, are both available, probably will be available to them, depending on what I believe the Rams will do with their pick. I do have the Rams projected with Justin Blackmon, so as of right now, I believe Matt Khalil and Morris Claiborne will be available for the Minnesota Vikings. It's just a matter of who they want to go with. Overall, I believe Matt Khalil will help them out a little bit more, considering the fact that they desperately do need an offensive tackle. Plus, their cornerbacks are not that bad, but they could use cornerback help. So for me in the draft, I believe the Vikings will go with sorry, that's my cell phone. I believe the Minnesota Vikings will go with Matt Khalil, the offensive tackle. Protect Christian Ponder. Free agency, get yourself a wide receiver, give him a weapon, and it does not hurt that you have possibly one of the best running backs in the league with Adrian Peterson. So Minnesota Vikings can be a dangerous team, but it has to come out of this draft. This draft is very important. Possibly go cornerback second round, maybe a third round wide receiver or safety. Start filling those needs. Watch out for those Vikings because they were the 28th ranked offense this last season. They were trying to find their identity and they did not do it. This season needs to be the season they do that. Stressing Christian Ponder, man, it's big. So that's all I have for the Minnesota Vikings. Probably won't finish as bad as they did this year, but like I said, this draft is important, so we'll see what you guys are going to do in the 2012-2013 season.